Hello, everyone. How are you? Good to see you. It is Monday night. It's Monday night, which means it's a new week for Sunday nights with Ping. Well, not Sunday. Sunday was yesterday, but it's nights with Ping. That's better. How are you all? Good to see you. Anika was here, or Anika. How are you? Flying DJ, he's here too. Sean is also here. He's no longer a sheep. He's now a budgie. Huzigo, hey, how are you? Yep, another Maria is here. Nana Lana. Danny Mitchell, the chat celebrity. He must have been at a very fancy invitation only event earlier. Jojo, hey Jojo. Marilyn Landis, Woos. Sherry runs late. Who else is here? Shell Huffman's here. Peekaboo Cockatiel and Penguin. Did I miss anyone? Laura G. Alright, I hope I didn't miss anyone. How have you all been? Did you have a good Monday? Did you get stuff done? Did you go to work? Did you stay at home and watch true crime all day? There's a lot going on. I have so many stories to tell you tonight. But first, one story we didn't end up covering yesterday, and now everyone's gone bonkers with it, is the parents of Sebastian Rogers has spoken out. And it was a weird interview. They did one, two, three, four, like a four-part interview, and it was on WSMV is where I found it. And I got to listen to a little bit about them explaining a little bit about who Sebastian was, a little bit about the day, and sort of details about his life, which is what we're all asking for, right? And they've done that. So, I can't imagine we can all bitch about it. But let's have a look. No, that's the wrong one. That's the other story. Let's get the correct one. Yeah. So I want to show you just the first one. The first one's around 4 to 5 minutes. If you haven't seen it, um, this will be good. If you have seen it, just get comfy anyway, and then we'll start talking about all the bits out of it. But I just wanted you to hear them speak, and then let me know what you think. I think it's very interesting. Apparently, one point they did bring up, I know this was a question a lot of people had, was did he have some sort of online access? So, like, was he groomed? Wait, whoa, what happened to my camera? Hi, I'm half a person. My name's Ping. I'll have to fix that in a second. Uh, they asked him if he had online access. Their thing is that his phone was locked down. He did have a Nintendo Switch, but the Nintendo Switch didn't have a gamer tag or a login of sorts. He just sort of played his own games offline and not with other people. And he didn't have access to like an online chat or anything like that. But, kids are resourceful. They get into all sorts of mess from iPods and things like that. But look, got to take him at face value and say that they apparently take a very heavy approach to online communication. They don't think he is they don't think he is responsible enough at this point in time to have that type of connection with people from outside his family. They think he's just not there yet. And yeah, let's listen to it, and then I'm going to fix my camera, okay? Let's put this on.
So, first, just express I can't even imagine as a parent what you two are going through. How would you describe the situation right now? How are you coping?
um, uh,
We're on a constant roller coaster ride of helpless and hopeless and many other emotions all in one, and it's a never ending roller coaster. It doesn't stop. It won't stop until he walks through the door.
I wouldn't wish this on anyone. Not anyone.
I know we're about keeping hope alive. I'm sure that's in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna
Always.
come home.
He's going to walk through that door And this street will be flooded again with family and relatives all waiting to hug and love him. And
That boy's gonna have more friends than he knows what to do with when he comes home.
so,
So here we are, 8 days now searching for him. Walk us through that Sunday night that he went missing. So walk us through. We've got so many people who really want to know, okay, how did this happen? So kind of just walk us through that night.
We were out and about that day. We were having a really good weekend. We got home. Everything was pretty normal. He was playing in his room. When I told him to go to bed, he did. He said, "Good night, Mom. I love you." Said goodnight to his puppies. A little bit later, I wound up going to bed, and when I woke him up for school, he wasn't there.
So in your mind, that's usually around what time? When do you normally wake up? Around 6 o'clock?
6.
So were you instantly thinking something's wrong, or were you like, he may just be already in the shower,
I took a
in the living
second.
room?
I took a second and walked through the house looking for him in case he'd gotten up and was trying to get breakfast or something, because he did that sometimes. About 3 minutes in, give or take, I was on the phone with my husband. I said, "I can't find him." He said, "What do you mean you can't find him?" I said, "He's not in the house."
And so at that point, is that when you call 911, or what's going through your mind?
while we were on the phone, and I was like, is he on the other side of the bed? The normal places he may be in the house, and he wasn't. So I was like, okay, well, hold on a minute. And immediately after that, we called the sheriff's department and made the report.
I ran all over the house, outside, inside. I looked in every closet.
Within minutes, they were here. They responded within minutes, and here we go.
So you said you were on the phone with her, so
Yes,
you were not home.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I was at work. I'm a tower crane operator, and I was working in Memphis at the St. Jude project. So it's, I have an earpiece in that talks to my phone. I have another earpiece in that does the radios. So when she was talking to me, it was like, what? I was confused. We talked about where he could possibly be, and then we went from there and led to calling the cops, and here we are now.
Within minutes.
As you can see, the mom is she seems quite upset. This fellow here, if you don't know, this is Sebastian's stepfather. His real father, biological father, not real father, that's a horrible way of putting it. Biological father, that's a better way of saying it. That's, less insulting. His biological father is actually works with law enforcement in another, I think he lives in another county, and this guy is a crane operator. So don't get those two confused. I saw a couple of people online getting that confused. They're like, his dad's a cop, and what's going on? No, this guy's a crane operator. The other one, his biological father, who he sees often and things like that, he's a law enforcement, not this guy. But yeah, let's finish this video and then we'll talk about it. There's only about a minute left of it.
There at the home.
Yes, ma'am.
It was rapid fire. They had cars.
They
They had
lied
cars from here down to the
to the main
road, as far as I could tell.
So what's going through both of your minds? I mean, are we panicking? Is it this, oh, I think he's probably at a neighbor's house, or what are you thinking?
My son doesn't run. He's not a runner. He's never run away before. I don't know why. I don't know why he walked out that door.
I mean, he's a good kid. He's not a mischievous child by any means. But there's answers to questions that have no answers, or questions with no answers right now that we are searching for desperately, and we just don't have that.
Is there anything that happened that day that you think back?
All right. There you go. That's part one. There's like another 3 or 4 parts to this. It did just pop into the next one. I can't steal all of it. It's 20, 30 minutes long. And if we do, I'm guessing whoever created this is probably going to come after us with pitchforks. They're not going to be okay with us just stealing their content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post a link in the chat. If you want to watch the rest of it later on, you are more than welcome to. Here, I'll put it on the screen. Comes from WSMV.com, and it's the interview with Sebastian's stepfather and his mom. So, Marylander says, Mom is showing more emotion. Yeah, I didn't really know that either. Why he walked out the door? Well, she says later in the interview, she doesn't know. She's as perplexed as everyone else is, and she just has no idea. They asked sort of, how good is he with direction? They said, like, could he go down, the street and meet someone? Or could he go down to the shops and come back or something, something like that. They said he can only really go to places he's been before and then come back. He's like, so there's an ice cream parlor down the street from him. He knows how to go down there and come home. But he also knows how to go to his biological father's place in the car and come back. And it's quite a distance away. The reason he knows how to do that is because when they drive him to the biological father's place, they sort of tell him, like, go here for 5 minutes and then turn left, and then we turn a right there, and then we go down this street. So he has sort of memorized the route. The stepfather was saying, if you were to take him to his father's home and go a completely different route, he would have no idea where he was. He wouldn't know he was even close to his dad's house. He wouldn't know a street to turn onto to get back onto the other route. No idea. So it's memorization. He works off a lot of memorization of things. And very interesting. I would like to know if he made it outside the house on his own, then where could he have gone if he doesn't know how to get to places? The other thing they also said is that he's quite annoyed by dirt and bugs, and it's not like he could just run off into the forest, because there's a lot of dirt and bugs in the forest, especially in Tennessee. You're going to run into some big bugs that are huge. So I I don't know. I am so confused. Marylander says, how far from the biodad? I can't remember. They do mention a county, but I can't remember what county it was. It's a while away. It's not close. It's more than just down the street. It's a while away, is the way they sort of put it. Sean says, question where he headed. They don't know. They do ask that question. They have no idea where he could have gone. They keep saying, like, we've checked all the spots he sort of knows. If it's anywhere else, we're not aware of it, and we don't know. So, which I think is a fair response. How can they? They're not mind readers. But Sebastian seems to be the kind of kid who works off routine and memorization. You would think that would lead to clues if he was out there voluntarily, that would lead to clues about where he is, because he can only go to so many places on his own, right? I find that I'm concerned that, what else could have happened to him. So we've ruled out online, online communication. They say he has zero online communication, none. They lock down his phone, they lock down his Switch. They don't allow him to have any Facebook or chat messaging or, anything like that. Even in the game, he likes to play, um, God, now I can't remember what it is. That one where they build with the little blocks. I can't remember what it's called now. But he can't talk to people on there either. I think he plays like an offline version of the game. And yeah. Charles Huffman says Occam's razor. If it's Occam's razor, what is the other side? Or if it's not, yeah, I don't know. Minecraft, that's it, Minecraft. I kept thinking Roblox for some reason. I don't know why. I always think the wrong thing. Maybe he may have. Maria says he may have left, got lost, hid, and when morning came, walked more being lost. But like you heard, the cops were at their house within minutes. Within minutes of them calling, they were there. So, do you think they would have found him with the helicopters and the drones and the night vision cameras and got lost? Okay. I mean, I'm not suggesting one way or the other. I'm after watching their interview, I at least believe on face value that they're being authentic. Like from when I watched it, I thought they were mostly open. They talked about they didn't close off any questioning, except for one. There's a court case involving the stepfather and an ex-partner and a little girl somewhere. I don't know if it's New Mexico or Colorado. I couldn't hear. But there's some sort of court case that has now, or they have asked it to be sealed from the public to protect the little girl's identity and I guess her mother by extension, because apparently people in the true crime world dug it up and started talking about it on live streams. So they're very annoyed about it. Yeah, there's some sort of custody, not with Sebastian, but with the previous relationship of the stepfather, apparently. No, so I don't know why people felt the need to dig that up and start doing live shows over it. But hey, that's, everyone does their own thing and you got to lie in that bed. So, but they've now asked for that particular case to be sealed, which it shouldn't have been anyway. It's a child custody case, right? Normally those particular cases are automatically sealed, or in America, is that state to state dependent? I'm not sure. I know in Australia, most of them are automatically sealed. Like as soon as you go through a children's court, you cannot find those records. They are just kept from the public, because they involve minors. Let's see. Marilyn said they seem all right. Actually, let's play a little bit of the second one because they asked that really important question that I know that everyone wants to hear the answer to. Hold on. Where is it? Let's listen to a little bit of part 2.
And there might have been a reason he was possibly upset or something outside that could have enticed him to go outside. Was there anything that came to mind?
We've been combing over that day and even the weeks before he left, and I hadn't been able to figure it out. He's that morning he was laughing, he was joking. Everyone we were around that day agreed that he seemed like he was in a good mood. He was behaving. It'd make more sense if we'd been fighting.
Or you'd been in trouble, but he hadn't been in trouble. So, I mean, the $1 million question, why did he go? And the other $1 million question is how.
I don't think the $1 million question is why or how. I think it's where is he? I think that's the $1 million question. It doesn't matter the reasons why he left or how he left. It's where is he? Not to jump on them. I'm just saying that's my $1 million question. I'm sure it is theirs as well. But you just heard them say they can't think of anything that triggered him to leave home. They even thought back many weeks. Then they can't find anything. They said he hadn't been in trouble. He hadn't been fighting with his mum. He, he hadn't been a bad kid or anything. He wasn't on punishment or something like that. Seemed like everything was hunky dory at home. So they seem to be at a bit of a loss to explain why he'd even want to leave home. It's not like he'd just got in a massive fight with mom and, he's in a bad way, with the relationship or something. They painted out to be that they're in a very good place. They were in a good place before he left. So, let's listen to a little bit more.
What about social media? Is there anything that anyone he could have contacted? I understand he was somewhat of a gamer, or what was he? There was a video game he loved, right?
Minecraft. He loves Minecraft. The game that he has is not online. He has the Switch.
We don't, because of how social media can be, he doesn't have accessibility to communicate with folks on internet. I mean, we have a firm belief that we just don't feel that right now he's capable of having that kind of responsibility. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, his phone is locked down, his computers, his gaming. He doesn't have a gamer tag. He doesn't have online capabilities with games. I mean,
we've combed every electronic. I
mean, we've cooperated with all the authorities as far as anything they've asked us to provide, we've provided, and still just don't have any answers.
Did he have any friends that could have possibly contacted him in some way on his phone?
All his friends at school have been questioned to my knowledge, and none of them knew anything.
So this big question mark. He's vanished.
Yes, ma'am.
And no one can figure out where or why. All right. So let's talk too about the relationship involved, because the biological father is very much involved in Sebastian's life as well.
Yes, ma'am. Very much.
Right. And how would you describe that relationship, the two of them and the four of you?
Shebear says, hoping I'm late. Is he verbally autistic or non-verbal? I don't think they've mentioned it. I don't think it's been defined as to what his spectrum of autism is, if that is the correct way to say it. Yeah, so he did go to school, some sort of school, and they do say that any friends or acquaintances he did have that he may have communicated with, they've all been questioned and spoken to by police. And they think that if they knew anything, they probably would have given it up to police already. So he must be able to communicate somehow. If he has friends at his school or, whatever place he goes to. So something still doesn't sit right with Dan Yee. All right, Dan Yee. It is mysterious. It's almost like if this was the 90s, we'd be putting this on Unsolved Mysteries. I mean, you have a week-long search. Over the weekend, you had 300 volunteers all searching, including National Guard, police, helicopter, drone, fixed-wing aircraft. I am at a loss. Burnt Popcorn says, my autistic son was playing World of Warcraft at 6 years old. They're very clever with technology. They seem to be very in tune with technology and very good at it. Yeah, Danny has now started talking to himself in the third person. We shall see. We shall see. All right. Let's finish part 2 and then we'll leave it there. we have other things to get to.
It's relatively good. I mean, we talk regularly. He talks to his son on a regular basis, sees him on a regular basis. He's involved in school and therapy. And I mean, he didn't have any extracurricular activities, but I can tell you now, if he did, his dad would be in the front row.
I mean, two different households, and the communication between the three of us is great. I mean, yes, we're just like every parent. We all have our disagreements, but in the end, we come together as a team and we work and we come up with solutions that as we best see fit. I mean, I'm almost in contact with him almost daily.
Let's talk about Sebastian. Tell me about Sebastian. How would you describe him?
Sweet, stubborn. He loves to help. He loves running, and he loves to play his games and his fidgets and Uno. Lord, that's one of his favorite games right now. Favorite color is green.
Does he love music?
Oh, God, he loves music.
Yeah.
An eclectic taste.
I mean,
An eclectic. I mean, from as everybody knows, Eye of the Tiger to Eddie Vedder.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So we got Pearl Jam on one hand, we've got Survivor on the other over here. We've got Taylor Swift, and
he's got a big crush on her. I mean, country, rock,
no
classic.
hip hop. We don't allow the hip hop.
Well, he doesn't really get into it anyways.
Rap and things.
You mentioned he loved running. So did he love the outdoors at all? I mean, would something outside that was somewhat outdoorsy be enticing to him or pull him outdoors?
He loves, like, when we were in California and the school had this lap thing to gain money. It was a fundraiser. And every year I did this many laps. I did this many laps. I mean, I've got t-shirts where they would write on his back. Every time the kids went around, they'd mark a mark on the back and they'd keep running. And he just had marks all the way across his back. He likes playgrounds. He hates being dirty. He don't like being dirty.
Yeah, he's not your tomboy style child where he goes outside and plays in the mud.
He loves animals, but he's terrified of bugs.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, even a fly, and he's like,
oh! Let's.
All right, that's the end of part 2. Yeah, I think it was like a track day that she was trying to explain, like, like a running track at a high school or a middle school. So they just run around, and I think each time they come around, they get marked off, and I think it probably gives, like, I don't know, an extra $1 or 20 cents to the school or the charity or whatever. Yes, yeah, he is autistic. Yes, apparently so. Playground. Yeah, so I find that interesting. She explains doesn't like bugs, not even flies. Flies are freaking him out. He likes playgrounds and he likes some exercise. You can't imagine that he's going to go that back way out of his home then. That back way out of his home that goes through the cul-de-sac and through in between the homes at the end and then into the forest. I just can't imagine him doing that for a kid who prides himself on being clean and doesn't like giant bugs or any bugs. I mean, no, it doesn't seem so. And at the middle of the night, it's a real strange time. Marlene Clausen said, "How did he dress in black with a flashlight at night?" Have no idea. Nanalana says, gosh, this is sounding worse and worse. It doesn't sound great. It doesn't sound great from all different angles. I just feel like, wouldn't we have heard something by now? Someone would have seen him. Someone would have him on a Ring doorbell or a CCTV, a shop would have seen him. Like, he must be known in the community, right? Mum takes him to the shops down the road all the time to get shopping or lunch or something. They probably know him at the local Costco. The butcher probably knows him and his mum and dad, and no one's seen it. No one's seen a Ring doorbell, a CCTV. The the flights over the area haven't picked up anything of interest. They haven't, found any anomalies, things late at night that shouldn't be out there. It's one of those ones where it feels like someone just vanished into thin air. And like the sheriff said, kids don't just vanish into thin air. So yeah, he'd definitely be scruffy after a week of no showers and no change of clothes, no food maybe, and no water. I mean, he's not a kid who's going to go out there and eat from the forest and cook up forest mushrooms out of he needs a lot of help. Yeah, he seemed very routine orientated, judging from his mum's comments. That's very sad. Marlene Clausen says, I think the more the days that go by, the less likely he will be found. That is an awful realization. Laura G says, if he memorizes things, could someone he's in contact with have given him verbal instructions to meet, luring him out? Meet me at X on Y, you'll see an eagle or something like that. Yeah, possibly. But again, the parents reckon that they have checked all his devices and there's nothing. So, and they don't allow him to be online with anyone. I mean, I know kids are pretty clever, right? We've heard of stories before where, mums were adamant, my kid's not online talking to strange men or whatever, and their daughter's been online getting nude for 30-year-old men. Like, it happens and we hear about it often. And especially with kids like Sebastian, who are very cluey, very clever, very good with technology. Maybe he was able to circumvent his parents' controls on his devices. I don't know. It's possible. But I'm guessing they would have been handed over to police by now, and they would have used the bright light technology on it and scanned the whole thing and tried to find anything that was deleted, anything that went around circumvention, something like that. Emily Knob. Hey, Emily Knob. How are you? Penguin. How are you, Penguin? Penguin says, I thought he was seen on some camera. How else would they know he was wearing black and had a flashlight? I seem to remember that there was a rumor that he was caught at like 5 a.m. in the morning on camera, and then it turned out that that was a rumor. Let me see if I can find and verify that. Hold on. Because I think if they had that footage, they would have released it by now. Here. The sheriff, just want to double check this. Yeah, it is the sheriff. The sheriff said there has not been a confirmed sighting of missing teen with autism on camera since his disappearance at midnight Sunday. That was the Sumner County Chief Deputy Eric Craddock and the Emergency Management Agency Director Ken Wedner. Yeah, they're saying that they do not have a proof of life CCTV or camera. Yeah, he said there's not a confirmed sighting of Sebastian on camera. Hold on, I can put this in the chat for people. That's the direct quote right there. There's not a confirmed sighting of Sebastian on camera. So no, I don't think they do have him on camera, or if they do have one from the home, and what they mean is they don't have anything after that. But I still would have thought they would have released that to show everyone, hey, this is what he looks like. This is what he was wearing when he went missing. Look for this guy. They also said search and rescue dogs haven't been able to pick up a scent from him, which is interesting as well. Those dogs, those bloodhounds, they are very good at what they do. Just trying to see if anything else. Authorities have searched by air, by horse, by foot, and in the water. Crews are tracked by cell phone towers. Their paths are marked, and once they're finished, they're assigned a new area to search. They said originally they had denied public help in the search because they wanted to, control the situation, but they have now reversed that decision and asking people to search in pairs for Sebastian. Still asking people to search their properties twice a day in the morning and at night, anywhere a young man or young boy, teenager, whatever you'd like to call him, could hide or take shelter. They want you to have a look in those locations twice a day and take a friend with you so aerial assets do not think you are Sebastian. Because he goes, if we see you on the aerial camera, we're going to send deputies to your home to make sure you're not Sebastian. So he's like, if you don't want a visit from police at 8 p.m. at night, don't go out into your field alone. Sherbet says, I don't understand. Kids that are autistic are registered and law enforcement are aware of kids' autism in their neighborhood. Wish I didn't have to speak from experience. I'm sure there are other ways we could go. Yes, they were running the Eye of the Tiger song on the speaker system from their vehicles to try and entice him out because he likes the song. I thought that was a great, ingenious little trick to try get him. No dogs have picked up any scent of him. So we got no scent they could track, no CCTV, no aerial anomalies. It is weird, and they have looked in the waterways. From the update that I saw, they said they've had assets in the water checking the different waterways in the town on drones. No, I saw them. They had it on a buggy. I didn't see the drone one, but I saw them. They had it on a buggy. They had like a speaker system in the car, and they had like an iPod or something, and they were playing it. So they were driving around the foresty areas, and they were playing it in the. They looked like they were two guys having a lot of fun, but it was a serious situation. But it looked like two fellas just going for a ride while playing Eye of the Tiger. But yeah, I didn't see the drone one. That's very cool. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I don't know. All I can hope for is that they find him, like one way or another, and then figure out what happened. Find him first, figure out what happened second. Let's go back to his information. Here it is. Sebastian Rogers, missing since February 26, 2024, from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Age 15, sex male, race white, hair color brown, eye color brown, height 5'5", weight 120 pounds. Description: last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and his glasses. They said an Amber Alert has been issued on behalf of the Sumner County Sheriff's Office for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Sebastian is a 15-year-old white male. He was last seen wearing his black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and the glasses. Sebastian has a medical condition which may impair his ability to return safely without assistance. They're saying if you have seen him or have any information about his whereabouts, call 615-451-3838 or the TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND. So there you go. I hope we get some better news tomorrow about Sebastian. I hope he's been, I don't know where he could have been, somewhere. I hope they just find wherever it is. Hey, Edget. Any doorbell cameras? Not that I'm aware of, and they haven't released whether there's something in the parent's home or not. You would think if you had an autistic kid who was big on, you know, pushing boundaries or something like that, having a CCTV or a Ring doorbell would be a real handy gadget to own, but I don't know. Edget says, my gut says, look at the stepdad. Bet the police know MO or no more. Maybe. They said that the investigation is now turning into less of a search and rescue and more of a, police investigation. So they're more looking into that right now. They're doing more of a harder dig into things. Kim68 says they looked in the water a few times. Unfortunately, I don't think they'll find him safe now, but I pray I'm wrong. Yeah, I think you might be right, unfortunately. Ruby says, my mum is not doing too well these days. Don't know what to do. I'm sorry to hear your mum's not well, Ruby. Yeah, even an Apple Watch. Yeah, they're such a great little device. If you had a child like that, even buying them like the cheaper model, just to be able to track them and teach them that it's a cool thing. Like you can have this really cool piece of technology and it's a really pretty watch, and just make sure it's child locked so they can't use any of like the SMS or, internet features. But that's a great idea. I hope we're all wrong and he is found at an ice cream parlor somewhere eating ice cream. I really do. I hope someone has been kind enough to take him in and doesn't realize that there's a big fuss looking for this kid somewhere. All right. If I hear anything else, I will definitely bring it to you, like always. And now we're going to go to Arizona. Let's go to Arizona. It says, body cam shows moment deputies find Benjamin Anderson's body burning in the desert north of Phoenix. Now, this video was only released in the last, day or so? 2 hours ago. This guy's murder, assuming it's a murder, is really horrible. The way they found him, the way it's been described, you guys will hear about it in a second. Let me play this for you. This is a bit of a trigger warning for any of our people in the gay and lesbian demographic. I think this would be a difficult story to hear, just judging by some of the content. So let's have a listen.
5 new information on a high-profile murder investigation. It's a story our True Crime Arizona team's been following closely. And it's our top story right now at 5 New tonight. We are seeing the moment deputies found Benjamin Anderson's body burning in the desert more than 2 years ago.
Some men out in the desert doing target practice spotted the fire and called deputies. And this new footage reveals what happened next. Anderson went missing on New Year's Eve heading into 2022. His car was torched in Phoenix. His body was found 30 miles away. True crime correspondent Brianna Whitney has been working on this case for years. Brianna, what does this video reveal?
Yeah, there's quite a bit there. We got about 5 hours worth of footage, and it's a case I've been asking questions about for a long time now. We see those hours of footage where the deputies get to the scene, and it's tough to watch them try to figure out what's going on and if this is a real body that's burning. As Ben's loved ones anxiously wait for charges to be filed against what the sheriff's office says are targeted suspects, this footage reveals new details and another bizarre clue in his case. And a note, some may find the video in this story hard to watch.
Is it a mannequin? Jesus.
December 31st, 2021, a rainy New Year's Eve. Body cameras are rolling as the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office gets a call that a body or a mannequin is on fire off the I-17 and Table Mesa Road. An officer climbs down a small cliff, piecing together what he's seeing.
He might have slipped and fell, and I might have, but I don't know what would set him on fire. I think we have a dead body here, Sarge.
Well, treat as a crime scene.
We now know that's the burning body of 41-year-old Benjamin Anderson, a Phoenix man who went missing earlier that day. This is the first time his best friend, Dan Stahoviak, is seeing the moment Ben's body was discovered.
I can't watch it. I saw the fire and I just, because he was alone, seeing it is a whole different story.
That same day, Dan and his friends found Ben's car in a Sheridan parking garage, driven by who they say were strangers inside. They followed the car for a while until the pursuit got too dangerous. An hour later, they found Ben's car torched in a college parking lot. They didn't know until days later that officers already found Ben's body in the desert. The body camera reveals another bizarre mystery.
Looks like there's hair on his legs, and he's got like fishnet stockings on, and his hair is short. I think it's a guy dressed as a girl.
This part perplexes Dan.
So let me just jump in there. They're not sure whether they did that to humiliate him or some other reason. But in death, he was wearing these fishnet stockings, and they're not sure how or why that happened, and they're trying to figure that out. So I thought I'd just preface that little bit. It definitely seems like something like that for sure. Let's listen to the rest.
Did they put them on him? Was it used to, as part of like to tie him up? Everything goes through my mind because I've never known Ben to wear fishnet stockings.
The officer relays a theory to his sergeant of what he believes happened before firefighters arrive.
There's blood up here at the top of the hill where it looks like a body dump, Sarge, that somebody drug him and threw him off this little cliff.
MCSO confirmed they have good targeted suspects in the case and charges will be coming. Dan says he and his friends have talked about the difficulties they know are ahead.
We have to prepare ourselves for the moment we find out why.
MCSO didn't give us a time frame of when we should expect charges to be filed in Benjamin Anderson's case, but told us in January they were finishing up going through some digital data and records before they could move forward. Of course, we're all waiting for charges to be filed in this case.
Yeah, it's really hard to know that those were his final moments. So Ben's friend shared something particularly emotional with you today.
Yeah, obviously it was hard to watch this video, but he said, and none of us knew that this video was going to be released today. We don't know why it was released. We put in a request for this years ago. But Dan said yesterday his Golden Girls light that said, "Thank you for being a friend," just automatically went on out of nowhere. That was one of Ben's favorite shows. They would always talk about it. And he thought at the time so much so, it was so eerie that he took a picture, sent it to his friends and said, "I feel like Ben's here." And so for then him to get the news that hours later this body camera footage was released, he said it feels like it was a sign that Ben's saying, "We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost to the end. Thank you for being a friend." So it was emotional for him.
And not yet there until charges are filed, obviously, but an important step. Brianna, thank you for that.
Did you hear that story at the end about the light? That they think that it was that their deceased friend thinking it was a sign telling them that the end is coming for this particular unsolved case, and that, hold on, hold on, the end is coming. What a horrific case, and I can't imagine what it would be like to be the family and friends of Benjamin. I mean, it really is humiliation in death and removal of dignity in the final moments of his life. And it almost seems like to me they did it to embarrass him so that everyone would have to know that, we murdered this guy, but, he was X, Y, and Z and blah, blah, blah. And look at this and what a spectacle. I mean, yeah, horrible. It's a really weird case, and that has been ongoing since December 31st, 2021. And yeah, that's the last time we ever seen. It says here Anderson went missing on New Year's Eve heading into 2022, and his car was later found torched in Phoenix, Arizona. His body was discovered 30 miles away north of Phoenix after a man searching the desert for a place to target practice found the fire. And that's when you see that footage turn on from the MCSO. Yeah, it's horrible. And then they torched his car. I mean, what evidence could have been in there that they were unable to find? But as far as I know, no charges have been laid. They're still working on it. This only came out a couple of hours ago. So let me just check here. Benjamin Anderson. Hold on. Here, here's another article about it. Benjamin Anderson charges planned in 2021 New Year's Eve murder in North Phoenix. And that was a while ago. Published January 4th, 2024. So 2 months ago, they were still talking about charges. And now we're a few months later, they're still talking about the charges. They're on their way. So I don't know what cops are waiting for. It's very interesting. They said at the time he was killed, he was last seen at his home on the morning of New Year's Eve. According to a missing persons flyer shared on social media, friends of Anderson became concerned after he failed to respond to calls. Anderson's friend later found his burnt-out car near I-17 and Dunlap. Later on, officials with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office said Anderson's body was found on the same day he went missing. On Friday, December 31st, 2021, MCSO responded to the location of Table Mesa Road, west of I-17, for a body found in the desert. The MCSO homicide unit assumed the investigation, and today the identity of the decedent was identified as 41-year-old Benjamin Anderson. They said in reference to the homicide of Benjamin Anderson, there really is no groundbreaking update. Our case agent has been in touch with the MCAO and even did a case review briefing on it to get their opinion suggestions. So they are trying to close out this particular case, but they seem to be struggling. They said while our detectives do have a person of interest targeted as good suspects, they still must comb through some digital data and records to gather more information. Unfortunately, we cannot give a timeline on when things shall be completed. I can say that regardless of what is found with the digital record analysis, we will be submitting charges against the alleged suspects. Now, they said suspects, so more than one person maybe? It says the MCSO remains committed to see that the best case is put forward to the MCAO. We have also been aware that there are rumors that this case is related or possibly related to other agency criminal cases, but detectives had worked with those agencies and there is no obvious relation. In addition, our detective remains in contact with Mr. Anderson's family. Prior to January 4th, 2024, officials with the MCSO had given few details in Anderson's death and made no mention of suspects. So, to start the year, they gave this press briefing. Then they put out the video today of his body being found. I wonder if they're trying to put pressure on someone and see what they do. Basically, see what the pressure does to them. Maybe they're going to see if they change their routine, change how they do stuff, try and flee maybe. Maybe they're trying to see what the suspect does. Let's see. Let's see what this video says here. I don't know if this is the same as the one we watched before. Let's have a look.
Charges are planned in the unsolved murder of 41-year-old Benjamin Anderson. Anderson was killed under mysterious circumstances on New Year's Eve 2 years ago.
Fox 10's Lauren Clark joining us live now from the Maricopa County Sheriff's headquarters to share how loved ones are reacting to the news. Lauren.
Well, Mark and Christina, investigators believe they know who did this. It's mixed emotions today from Ben's friends, who have for 2 years now asking themselves the question that remains in their minds: who did this and why? I have described him as the brightest light. And for those of us who were lucky enough to even stand in that light for a minute, are truly the luckiest people on earth.
It's news that brings mixed emotions to Susan Despanko. Planned charges in the death of her best friend, Ben Anderson.
We've really been like holding our breath for the past 2 years. And although it feels like we can maybe almost exhale, we're now closing one horrific chapter and moving into the next horrific chapter.
Anderson went missing on New Year's Eve 2021. Friends frantically began to search for him after he uncharacteristically didn't respond to phone calls. They told police they tracked his vehicle to a parking lot where 3 people were inside.
We gave chase to that car and, later on found that car burned severely, so bad that the doors were melted off.
Anderson's body was later found 30 miles away in the desert. The sheriff's office has given few details in his death, making no mention of suspects until today. In a statement, MCSO said in part, detectives do have a person of interest targeted, and although they still have to comb through some digital data, they will nonetheless be submitting charges against the alleged suspects. No mention of exact charges was given.
Some questions today coming from the statement about timelines and what evidence they're waiting for. We would like some of those questions answered, but there is, still a lot of grief.
As for his best friends, they're committed to answers until the very end.
We won't stop fighting for justice. We won't stop fighting for answers. And we will fight for accountability in this.
And MCSO says despite rumors that Anderson's murder is connected to other criminal cases, they say detectives have found no connection. Reporting live here in Phoenix, Lauren Clark, Fox 10 News.
So there you go. There's the background to this particular case. I really hope those charges are swift and justice is served for him and his friends and for Benjamin. What a horrible situation. I mean, to wait that long, I know it's only been a couple of years, but it must feel like a lifetime for the family to not know why it happened or what Benjamin, how he ended up in the desert, pushed off a cliff, and then set on fire. I mean, it's a real brutal homicide, and I'm glad that they seem close to being able to press charges. That would be great. So I wanted to bring you that because I broke only a couple of hours ago out of Arizona. Let's see. Hi, Robbie T. How are you? Good to see you. Peekaboo Cockatiel says, my son was beaten unconscious while walking his puppy on the morning of his 15th birthday, calling him all kinds of gay hate names. People can be so cruel. They can. Marlene says, just when you think you've heard it all, how awful. I don't think I've ever heard of such a brutal case like this. Snapcrackle Pop says, it's hailing here right now. Might lose connection. Jeez. Hail big enough to kill your internet. Alright. Let's move on. Now, yesterday we spoke about Crystal Day. And I'm going to show you a little bit more about it. Where is it? Where is your story, my friend? Okay. So if you didn't watch last night's show, we spoke about the disappearance of a Glendale woman, Native woman. Is it Christelle? Yeah, Christelle Day. And we were like, oh, what kind of background does she have? There were some DV flags that were brought up saying that she may be a victim of domestic violence. Some people that were looking into this case yesterday for me came back with that her herself had a bunch of court issues surrounding domestic violence, but the context is unclear. They were saying that they couldn't find out whether it's because like it was a retaliatory charges or something. They were unsure, but apparently I read this on Web Sleuths. Her family states she is a DV victim. She may very well be, but recent court records from the Glendale Municipal Court have her being ordered to domestic violence offender treatment, which turned into some failure to appear charges, and that was under her name on the public access case lookup. They were saying that there were also criminal charges filed against her February 8th of this year, with a summons sent at the time. She was charged along with a male, but his records are in the same search. Yes, this is a person from Web Sleuths. Thanks for posting that. What's their name? Grace G. Grace G from Web Sleuths. Thank you for finding that information. They just said there's no more context as what these particular charges were about. So I was like, I wonder if she was in like a bit of a bad domestic relationship or something where, you know, she was defending herself or something like that and got hit with DV charges because she was the one who threw, you know, the first punch or something. A lot of those type of police officers will charge whoever did the, you know, the first connection type thing. So I don't know what they're about, but it is some interesting background to her case. Snapcrackle Pop says 1,500 outages of power already. I hope yours stays on. I really do. Hey, Four Sons Mom, good to see you. Yeah, so her case gets a little bit more murkier. I hope it's just unfortunately part of her being in you know, a bad relationship. Let me just log in here. I just want to check something. So here's a missing persons poster of her, and you can see here her with like a slightly different hairstyle with the nose piercings, and these are the names she sort of goes by: Chrissy, Christelle Ramirez, Christelle Marie Day, Cassandra Miles, and they're saying these are her tattoos here too. She has a few tattoos on her shoulder, her forearm, and her wrist. Let me just download this and then we can put this up. Hold on. We can get a better look at those tattoos. Give me a second. All right. All right, I'm going to put it up on the screen. Let me pull that comment down. Bye, Reby. Hope your mom's going to be okay. Good luck with your business stuff. So here, you guys can see, I know it's hard to see, we can't zoom in. She does have like this different tattoos on each part of her body. I know it's probably a little hard to, maybe I can do it like this. Where's my control here? There you go. So there you go. There's the tattoo on her shoulder. You can see that. And let's go across here. There's the one on her wrist. What does that say? Like continue, but it's got like the you know, special character there. I don't know what that means. Maybe someone in the chat knows. Sometimes these words with the little symbols have meanings. I don't know what it is, unfortunately. And then she has this tattoo here, very floral design by the looks of it, with purple or pink and then green. Very big, fairly large tattoo. It looks like it's on the same arm as the shoulder design too. So, something to keep an eye out for. Miranda says, I have no tattoos. You should get one in case you get missing. No, I'm just kidding. Have we done an update on Elijah in the last couple of days? No, because there really isn't any relevant information. They're still looking for him. Searches are ongoing. His family are taking Monday, Tuesday off and not committing any searches on those days for Elijah. They're taking a step back and having a break, and then they'll be back on the search Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week. Ah, like to continue your life. Okay, I get it. Yeah, really nothing on Elijah. If there was something good, I would bring it to you, I promise. But there's really just nothing new. Watch, I'll show you. Elijah. Let's go to this. Oh, wait, hold on. Actually, hold on. Actually, yeah, there is an update. I checked this before, just before we went to air, and there was nothing. They're looking for a car now. Oh, that's interesting. Hold on.
Two Rivers Police just released specifics about a car they're calling a vehicle of interest. Police do have this vehicle in their possession right now. It's a 1997 Nissan Altima with a license plate that starts with A and ends with 0. Investigators want homeowners and business owners to check their surveillance cameras for any video that may show this car. And this is the time frame for that video, February 19th, between the hours of 2 in the afternoon and 9 at night. Police also have a website where people can upload any video they have. We're going to post a link to it in this story on the 12 News app. 3-year-old Elijah Vu disappeared some 2 weeks ago. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $15,000 for information in the case.
Yeah, so that actually broke just recently. Here's a car, the Nissan Altima. Far out, it's what we would call in Australia a shitbox. It's like, look at all the corrosion on the panels. This thing's been out in the snow, or yeah, I think the snow. It's been out in the, in the weather, probably from getting salt kicked up under here from driving around in the snow on the roads. And it looks like yeah, it's just degraded terribly. But if you've seen this like absolute junk box of a car, it's gonna stand out with the way it looks. Call it in. Anyone know if this is related to? Here, the Wisconsin license plate beginning with the letter A and ending with the number O, or no, the number 0. Two Rivers Police and Wisconsin Department of Justice created a link to upload any relevant videos. Here's more of the... Oh, there we go. I think that's the biggest we can get. There's some more photo. Look at all that. That's all the rust from snow or something. That's crazy. There's like half a car left. So if you've seen this car, why do they have so many good pictures of it? That's my next question. Why do they have these photos? Is this a car that has been impounded by the cops? Due to the duration of the hours requested to be reviewed, we are asking the public beyond the greater Two Rivers area and adjacent communities to review their videos as well. They're asking you to target February 19th between 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. for any surveillance camera, doorbell camera, or dash cam video from homeowners or businesses in the surrounding area. Police have the vehicle in their possession. They are describing it as a vehicle of interest. 1997 four-door beige Nissan Altima. The time frame being targeted is from the night before the boyfriend of Elijah Vu's mother reported the 3-year-old missing. Jesse Vang told police he was babysitting Elijah on February 20th when he fell asleep around 8 a.m. When Vang woke up 3 hours later, he said Elijah was gone. That day, the Wisconsin DOJ, Department of Justice, activated an Amber Alert for the toddler. Despite not being able to find Elijah, prosecutors charged Vang and the boy's mother, Katrina, with child neglect. Minette said investigators were gearing up for an expanded rural search operation, similar to the coordinated efforts when boats, dive teams, drones, and canines joined the search for the little boy. He said law enforcement agencies across the world would be participating across the world? Across the state. Across the world would be cool though. Across the state. Would be participating in a large-scale operations on Tuesday. That sounds to me like they might know where they're going. If they're going to put all this manpower into it, it sounds to me like they might know something. That's very interesting. Says the Wisconsin National Guard and DNR joined the search for missing 3-year-old. That's very interesting. Let's see. Oh, there we go. There's some larger blown up photos of this car. Yeah, rent-a-wreck. Kathy Lynch says we call those rust buckets. It's probably a less swear-wordy name than what I did. Marlon Clausen says fishy. Yeah, they're looking for video. Yeah. Not the car. They have the car. Yeah, I know. Like this car should be like bright red, alarm signals to people. People are like, oh my god, I know that piece of crap. It used to live next door. I saw that. Or people would be like, oh man, remember when we laughed about that, you know, terrible car that drove past us on the highway that day? Yeah, we saw that. It's probably on our dash cam. I mean, you don't miss a car that's like, only half there. It's pretty funny. Oh, I hate mornings. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Let's go down. Here's the back of it. There's the side of it. There we go. There's the side that seems to have got eaten away at rust. Wow, that's so weird. I just checked Elijah's name before we came on. And I checked his Amber Alert before we came on. Let's check. Where is the Amber Alert? Here. I want to see if they've updated it now with the car. Let's see. Let's see if on his Amber Alert do they have the car. No, they don't. No, they don't have it. Interesting, because normally they do update Amber Alerts with suspect car. No updated information on the car on his Amber Alert, unfortunately. Let me see if I can find anything better on this car. Hold on. Four hours ago. Surveillance photos show Elijah Vu 4 days before being reported disappearance. Here we go. Here he is in this photo right here. And here he is here. Looks like he's very much dressed for the cold. Looks like it's cool outside. He's got a beanie on and a thick winter jacket. And that's they're saying new photos of Elijah were given to Action 2 News by the owner of Ross Auto Service in Two Rivers. Elijah is seen walking with a person who was confirmed to be Jesse Vang in the shop. Elijah has a bright bright orange hat on and appears to be dressed in black. That's probably a way better photo than what they've given out already. While the owner declined an on-camera interview, he tells us Bang was in that day getting an ignition interlock system put in his car. He says during their visit to the shop, Elijah was quiet and sitting at a table with Bang. He says he didn't notice anything unusual about his behavior. And an ignition interlock system, isn't that for drink drivers, where they have to blow into the breathalyzer to make sure that they're not drinking in order to drive? It is. Yeah, it's an alcohol interlock. So does that mean he's been done with drink driving a bunch? Like a whole heap of times? You know, the old ones were terrible. They were so big. They were these huge cumbersome units, and now they're quite small. The ones from the 90s were massive. Let's see. They sort of look like this now. This is sort of what they look like these days. Just a little, like, device. But the ones back in the day were huge. Where's one from back in the day? They used to have like a really super long tube that came out of the dashboard. I don't know if I can find one for you, but the old ones were bizarre. They looked crazy. But that's what he was getting installed into his car, which is normally court issued. The only reason you get one is if a court mandates that you have to have it. Ah, Jojo says, this is how all older cars look in Southeast Ohio. It wouldn't stand out at all. I'd still laugh at it. 100 miles. Okay. All right. Let me just switch back to this. That's very interesting, that photo, though, of little Elijah. There you go. I'll leave that there for a second. That was weird. I heard a noise like there was a bird outside my window. There could be. They often come and visit. All right. Let's see if there's anything else on this car. WLUK. You guys have so many names for TV stations. Let's have a look. That's more photos of the car. It's Elijah. Just more photos. Okay. It says law enforcement has identified a vehicle of interest in the case of Elijah Vu. Do you think this is like one of their cars, like either the mum or Jesse Vang's car? I mean, why else would they have it? And if they do have it and it doesn't have like Elijah inside of it, why do they care? You know what I mean? It's a 1997 Dodge Altima. Yep, we know that. Nissan Altima. Okay, the Two Rivers Police Department. What are they saying? March 4th, 2024, 5:30 p.m. Elijah has been missing since February 20th, and we have continued vast search efforts to locate him. Tomorrow they're expanding. Yep, we've read about that before. Law enforcement is also requesting additional public assistance in locating Elijah. During the investigation, the following vehicle of interest was identified. That's that four-door Nissan Altima with license plate beginning with A and ending with 0. We are requesting homeowners and businesses to review their surveillance camera footage captured on the day before, February 19th, 2024, between the hours of 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. During the duration of these hours requested to be reviewed, we are asking the public beyond the greater Two Rivers area and adjacent communities to review their videos as well. Please use the following link to complete a short informational form and upload video. There you go. the fact that they have narrowed it down to 2 p.m. to 9 p.m., that window keeps getting smaller and smaller. Before it was sort of like 24-hour around the time he was reported missing. Now it's shrinking. Now they have a car. I feel like little bit by little bit, they're chipping away at this and they're slowly getting to the information they need. Could be. Maybe the cadaver dog picked up on something. Ben Popcorn says how the mum could just drop her baby off with this guy. Well, she wanted him to be a man, apparently. She was okay with Jesse Vang teaching him to be a man at 3. She's a nutcase. Let's have a look. Yeah, she left instructions for him to make him a man. To do what? What? Be the ruler of kindergarten? Oh, I made my boy a man. He's gonna own that kindergarten. Jeez. Peekaboo Cocktail says, I was just thinking the same as Lux. Maybe they could have. Gambler says, the people across the street from me have a white car with the bottom rusted out like this on the passenger side. No idea about the driver's side. I see the passenger side when they park out the front. So you'd only be good in an emergency if they drove past you on the passenger side. If they drove on the driver's side, you may not have the information needed to solve the crime, Gambler. Oh, shoot. I didn't realize how late it was. Oh, we've been talking for far too long. Okay, we got to start winding up. I hope you guys had a great show tonight. Are we coming back for a late show? Yeah, we could do that. We could come back for a late show at midnight. We could do that. I have someone I need to thank. I would like to thank Sean A for his continued support of the channel. And I would also like to thank... Oh, how am I going to do this? Give me 1 second. I just don't want to give out people's names unless, you know... here. No, that's not it. Okay. I want to thank Kate H. That's all I'm going to say. Kate said, keyboard. That's all she said. That's all you said. You didn't have to say more. I understand. Thank you. I very much appreciate it. It's extremely kind of you and very generous. Very, very cool of you. I will definitely get a new one as soon as I can find like one for a good price. Hopefully no more soda water all over my equipment. I keep the drinks far away now. They're all the way over there. Like you guys can't see them, but they're sort of over there now. They're not allowed to be here anymore. Penguin says a semicolon is an anti-S symbol. The semicolon is not a period, not an end. The story continues. Yeah, that's sort of what I thought. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so she's had some that type of issues. I get it. Cool. I've seen it on another case. Wasn't there another case where a girl went missing and she had a similar tattoo with that semicolon thing? And that was the same reasoning. She got it on her wrist. It was so because she had survived and she continued. There was another case where a girl had that same semicolon. Can't remember what it was though. All right, we have to wrap up. Head over if you want to Websleuths and go see what they are up to tonight. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but come back here at midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. If you want to come back, if you all our West Coast and Canadian people and Central Time Zone people, probably still a few hours left in the day for you. We'll probably come and check out some more cases, look and see what's going on with Samantha Murphy today, and I don't know, we'll find other things to talk about. Got hundreds of cases that we can look at. So until then, because we didn't get through, there was another case I wanted to look at. someone fired shots in the opening day at a theme park in Arizona. So I wanted to see that and talk to you guys about it. But I will be back at midnight for a little bit, for about 40 minutes to an hour. So until then, I'll see you all later. Have a great night. Wait, hold on. We have to wait 2 seconds. Let me upload this. Come on, StreamYard. There we go. 3, 2, 1. Come on. There we go. Good night, everyone. Thank you for all your support to the 700 and whatever subscribers. Can't believe we made it that far. It really is a privilege and an honor to be here with you each and every night. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for chatting, and thank you for leaving comments. It is very kind of you. Until next time, that's it. Good night, everyone. See you later. Bye.